evening. Here's the news at 9. First, the highlights. Lagos State Government prioritizes environmental cleanliness, urges residents to take action. INEC uploads over 90% of Edo gubernatorial elections results on V-Portal. On the foreign scene, death toll from Israeli strike on Beirut rises. And in sport, Nigeria's Green Park 6 double win over Kenya ahead second leg of Rugby World Cup qualifiers. Now the details. I am John Omoaka. The Lagos State government has urged residents, market men and women, artisans and commercial establishments to prioritize environmental cleanliness in order to prevent spread of all forms of diseases. Special Advisor on Environment, Olakunle Rotimi made this known at the commemoration of the 2024 World Cleanup Day Sensitization Program held at Bada Community in the Oshodi Solo local government area. Rotimi described the event as a global exercise with a 2024 theme, Make Room for Life, underscoring the fact that residents should inculcate the habits and make it a way of life by cleaning up their environment always and refrain from blaming the government once it rains and flash flood occurs. In a response, the Yaloja General Oshodi Solo Market, Sekinat Adeyanju expressed appreciation to the government for the laudable exercise, saying continuous efforts to clean up and sanitize the state by the government is for the best interest of all residents. She pledged the market women and men would continue to inculcate the culture of engaging in environmental sanitation always, as well as endeavor to dispose waste responsibly and patronize the PSP operators. The Lagos State Task Force has deployed additional patrol motorcycles across the key areas of the state to tackle the menace of one-chance operators and other traffic-related crimes. Chairman of the task force, Adetayo Akerele, highlighted the areas with high incidences of traffic robberies to include Agege Motor Road, Fagba, Bagada Expressway, Iyano-Eworo, Oshodi Expressway, among others. Akerele said the added patrol units will improve the agency's ability to swiftly respond to incidents, track down criminals, and create a greater sense of safety for all motorists. He urged residents to continue reporting suspicious activities to the agency through the designated phone number 0808 9705 008 or the agency's social media handles. The Lagos State Government, in collaboration with the Lagos Urban Development Initiative, LUDI, and other stakeholders will observe the annual Car-Free Day in Lagos on Sunday, 22nd of September. The initiative designed to encourage road users and motorists to set aside their cars for a day and embrace active and inclusive means of transport, such as cycling and walking, known as non-motorized transport. Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Oshiyemi, explained that the primary aim of the initiative is to raise awareness about the benefits of non-motorized transport. Beyond reducing environmental pollution, it addresses the detrimental effects of insufficient physical activity on health. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, physical inactivity is the fourth leading risk factor for global mortality, accounting for 6% of global deaths. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS Commission, has reassured that funds will not delay the Lagos-Abidjan Highway Corridor as construction of the 1,068 kilometers project begins in 2025. Chairman, Ministerial Steering Committee and Nigeria's Minister of Works, David Umahi, stated this at the 21st Steering Committee meeting of the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway Development Project in Lagos. Umahi said the design, conceptualization and funding mechanisms of the Lagos-Abidjan Corridor Highway Project, which was initiated since 11 years ago, had funding partners which include African Development Bank, among other financiers.
We have a number of funding partners, especially the African Development Bank. They've been part of every process, in the development of this project and the way we are. We won't have problems about the funding because they have indicated very strong interest and commitment towards the realization of the project. The heads of member states of ECOWAS they've made to agree to do a road project about 1,068 kilometers from Lagos to Abidjan.
Umai maintained that the ministers of the 5 countries, Republic of Benin, Togo, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, and Nigeria, had met and discussed on the adoption and approval of the technical designs. Speaking on the objective of the project, Minister of Roads and Highways in Ghana, Francis Aseno Boake, said the road infrastructure, when completed, would boost interregional trade, enhance economic growth, and showcase the tourism potential of member states.
And when it comes to road, in fact, evidence abound that helping to connect communities, whether through roads, bridges, we are promoting trade, we are promoting tourism, we are promoting economic activities, and general social life. Countries like the United States started their economic boom because they were able to connect their individual states through highways. And I believe that is the fundamental understanding we have in trying to connect these important countries in West Africa.
The high points of the event were presentation of technical designs by the expert committee, which is made up of engineers from all the 5 member countries, review of project designs by ministerial steering committee, as well as technical advice from the African Development Bank, among other financiers. And now to the rest of the stories. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has uploaded 90.33% of the results from the Edo gubernatorial election to its results viewing portal. Results from 4,082 out of the 4,519 polling units where elections were held in the state have been successfully transmitted. Earlier today, the Resident Electoral Commission for Edo, Anugbum Onoha, reassured the public that the electronic transmission of results will proceed smoothly, barring any network disruptions. The winner of this election will succeed Governor Godwin Obaseki, who will leave Osadebe House on November 11 after completing 2 terms in office. The federal government has mapped out a comprehensive strategy to achieve the goal of universal access to high-quality, patient-centered tuberculosis prevention, diagnosis, and treatment services in Nigeria through the implementation of a National Strategic Plan 2021 to 2026. Public-Private Mixed Focal Person National TB and Leprosy Control Program, NTB-LCP, Stella Mapu, stated this at a media training organized by Journalists Against AIDS, AIDS, to strengthen partnerships and eliminate the burden of tuberculosis in Nigeria. Mapu, who said the government has been making efforts to align with the World Health Organization, WHO, and TB strategy program, highlighted the importance of creating awareness in complementing the efforts of the NTB-LCP as Nigeria carries the highest burden of TB in Africa and 6th globally. Coordinator of the Lagos State TB and Leprosy Control Program, Olushola Shokoya, who highlighted the various issues and concerns in managing cases, urged the media to create awareness about the treatment program available for people affected, stressing that TB is curable and the treatment is free at all government facilities. On that part, the executive director of AIDS, Olayinde Akoni, tasked journalists to amplify the information about TB to reduce the myths and misconceptions that will continue to prevent people from seeking care and create more awareness about tuberculosis prevention therapy, TPT, thereby increasing its uptake among those that have been exposed to TB. Eco Club has been lauded by the founding elders forum of the club for its efforts in promoting social, cultural, and intellectual growth, noting that its dynamic programs have nurtured talents and celebrated the city's diversity for future generations. A former Honorable Justice, Ibrahim Olorunibe, stated this during Founders Elders Day celebration to mark the activities of the 50 years anniversary. Olorunibe, which shared the occasion, said the club was created to assist the people of Eko towards promoting and preserving the culture, alleviate poverty, contribute towards social development of Eko, and promote healthy living. He commended the club's sense of patriotism and citizenship to the massive development and growth experienced in the once upon small land of Eko Club in Surulere that has now grown to be full of gigantic buildings and edifices.
Eko Club is a tribute later. On my research, Eko Club within 50 years and substantially covered the ground. And the club is not resilient. They are still working towards improvement.
In his closing remarks, the president of Eco Club, Razak Amodu, said the club has made numerous contributions to the cultural tapestry of Lagos State through its various empowerment programs. He also commended past members and present members who have contributed immensely to the growth and development of the club.
In the last 50 years, the club has attained the enviable position of first among equals because we are a club that integrates culture, tradition, professionalism, and civic conduct. This among other qualities. This feat has been attainable due to the vision of our founding fathers, leaders, captains of industries, occupations, and the guidance of our traditional and spiritual.
And that was the president, Eco Club Association, Razak Amodu. And now to foreign news. The number of people killed in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut on Friday has risen significantly, with several children and women among the dead. Lebanese officials say all day on Saturday, rescuers searched through the rubble after a high-rise building collapsed and others were partially destroyed in the attack. They also say excavators were brought in to help clear the debris as medical staff surveyed the scene and people waited for news of those who were still missing. The attack, which hit the densely populated neighborhood of Dahir, a Hezbollah stronghold in southern Beirut, killed at least 37 people, including 3 children, and wounded 68 others. Now sports. The Nigerian women's rugby team, the Green Falcons, is looking to claim the scarf of Kenya the second time in 4 days when they lock horns in the second of a 2-match series for a spot in the 2025 World Series at the Impala Stadium, Nairobi, on Sunday. The Nigerians made history on Thursday by charging to a 20-14 win over Kenya in the first leg of the first ever NEA Women's Rugby League World Cup qualifiers at the same venue. Newly appointed Nigerian coach Bolu Fagborun expressed much confidence heading into the encounter. His charges left no margin for permutations going into the decisive clash on Sunday. And that's the news at 9, but just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watchtowers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Government has urged residents, market men and women, artisans and commercial establishments to prioritize environmental cleanliness in order to prevent spread of all forms of diseases. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has uploaded 90.33% of the results from the Edo gubernatorial election to its result viewing portal. We also tell you that the number of people killed in an Israeli airstrike in Beirut on Friday has risen significantly, with several children and women among the dead. And in sport, the Nigeria women's rugby team, the Green Falcons, is looking to claim the scarf of Kenya, the second time in 4 days when they lock horns in the second of a two-match series for a sport in the 2025 World Series at Impala Stadium, Nairobi, on Sunday. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adewale Oloporoku. I am John Omoaka. Thank you very much for listening.
Don't you think it is better